It's time for another episode of Talking with Topher, and it is October 17th, 2024. And as always, I am so happy to see so many of you coming back for more. As always, I want to thank everybody for subscribing and promoting the channel and helping me out so much. So I greatly appreciate all of you. Remember to subscribe if you're new. If you want to get on the podcast, you got to send an email over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And then, of course, the best way to share this is to click that share button right there. Or you can use the Linktree link in the description below and find everything TwT. It's just that easy. And now with all that out of the way, let's get into Topher's topics. I wanted to unleash this lady because this is one of the coolest things I've seen. And I love seeing, I don't even know, do I say black people or do I say people of color? What do I say? What's the correct way to say these things? This is a black woman. That was the correct way for me to say things when I was growing up. I don't know what you people want me to say today. But this black woman has a problem with another black woman. And I think it's absolutely hilarious. And this woman needs a standing ovation.
Acting like y'all representing some social justice.
Say that,
but all along, you're doing is trying to use black people to find a reason to make some money. Let me tell y'all something over there. We're done. The Democratic Party is done. You're taking no disrespect from a bunch of people who have broke into the country and now have completely broke the city, have completely disgraced the United States of America. The number one function of a president is to be the commander-in-chief. You tell me anything about a Kamala Harris that look like she can protect this country. Y'all done sat up here and put America's hands in all kind of wars. Kamala Harris, who don't know what race she is, gonna protect this country? The devil is a lie.
That woman is incredible. It's just so, the best part is when she turns to you people, and you people over there, and then it's like four white people, and they're like, I'm not so white, don't worry about me.
Absolutely amazing. We all need to be saying this. There's no way she's our commander-in-chief. There's no way. I'm sorry. You took a really bad candidate and you just gave everybody another really bad candidate. So I think that most people do believe this. I really do. I really, really do. I don't think Taylor Swift is going to be able to change the outcome. I don't think the Democratic Party made the right decision if they really wanted to beat Trump. And I just am blown away every time I see a black person just yelling at the top of their lungs how much they don't want her to be president. It just goes to show you that it's not about the diversity. It's about being able to do the job. And nobody thinks that she can do the job. And that's where, the problem lies. And I know for a fact that no matter which way this goes in November 5th, I believe, no matter which way this goes, there's going to be a side that says they cheated, this was rigged, we need to recount. So it doesn't matter. But I'm an independent. But at the end of the day, the independent party is really sad. And most of the people have dropped out. There's a couple left. And I guess, I don't know how this is possible, but I heard RFK is still on the ballot, which would be amazing. So I'm telling you, that was the candidate, man. That was the change. You know what I'm saying? Like, So this, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this brings me into my conspiracy theory, where we're at, and it doesn't seem like it's very conspiracy anymore. I don't know if you know about North Carolina right now. They've gone completely underwater. This is an area that has never seen flooding. There was somebody that lived in their home for 32, 37 years, never witnessed this type of weather, never thinking that something like this could ever happen in the area that they were in. Most of the people that have lost their homes, some people that I know have parents in this area, and they've completely lost their homes. And it's very sad and unfortunate. And I don't know if you know this, but there is a giant lithium deposit right where all those people were. So what do you think? Did you know that? And if you did know that, did you know this was going to happen? Because we all have seen the Maui fires, right? We've all seen Puerto Rico. We've all seen every devastating hurricane, and everywhere that gets devastated by these hurricanes not being taken care of. On the same day, and I think I'm going to get my number wrong, we gave Ukraine, it was either Ukraine or Israel, $174, I want to say, million dollars for the war. The day North Carolina got smashed, we turned around and we were like, we'll give you $750 each. But you got to fill out this form, and hopefully you qualify. What is happening, everybody? Now, here we go. Have you heard of Cisco? Have you heard of HARP? Have you heard of being able to control the weather? Have you heard of it? Right here. Right here, everybody. They can't control the weather. Really? They can't? What does this say? Weather modification patents. Year, patent number, patent name. 1891. Method of producing rainfall. 1914. Rainmaker balloon images. 1917. Protection from poisonous gas in warfare. 1920. Which means when the gas was rolling in, they had a way to blow it away. So they had a way to control wind to keep themselves safe from gas being released. In 1917, 1920, process and apparatus from the protection of intimate artificial clouds, fogs, or mists. So they had a way to make clouds go away. Because that's what we were doing. We were gassing, we were using all kinds of weapons, and then we made those. Those are inhumane. You can't do that. 1924, composition for dispelling fogs. 1927, process of producing smoke clouds from moving aircrafts. Oh, what are those called, huh? Those trails up in the freaking clouds there that planes leave? That's just water, right? No, it's not. Chemtrails is what they are. Oh, 1928, process of producing artificial fogs. 1932, atomizing attached for airplane engine exhausts. 1933. All right, and this list goes on and on and on, and I can barely read any of this. The pixelation is garbage. I don't know if you can see it any better on your screen, but this goes from 1933 all the way to 2001, everybody, where they now have hurricane and tornado control devices. Look, I believe this stuff is real. I believe that we have the capability of manipulating and or controlling weather. Those videos that I showed you from decades ago of this noise and the waves going crazy, and the louder the noise got, the crazier the waves got. That was HAARP. They also use this to cause earthquakes, to cause rumbling. We have a way to make these things happen today, right? Everybody knows Dubai. Dubai makes rain, what, once or twice a week? They've been doing it for a decade, if not longer. They all of a sudden had out of control rains, which flooded a lot of their areas. Well, maybe you shouldn't be making rain, right? We have figured out ways to control things. So the theory behind North Carolina is that when the storm was coming in, we tweaked it, we turned it, we sent it their way for the lithium. We need the lithium. But check out this video. I'm going to let it play for a couple moments. It's wild, everybody. This is North Carolina. A place that has never seen this before.
We have had the technology to create, control, and steer hurricanes for decades.
Project Cirrus is the first official attempt to modify a hurricane. It was run by General Electric with the support of the U.S. military. The official theory was that
1947, everybody. This is not new technology. It's just perfected.
by changing the temperature outside the eye wall of a hurricane, which they did by seeding the clouds with various compounds such as silver iodide, a decrease in strong winds will result. On October 13, 1947, Project Cirrus targeted a hurricane heading out to sea. Approximately 180 pounds of dry ice was dropped into the clouds. The crew then reported a pronounced modification of the cloud deck, and the hurricane abruptly changed direction and made landfall near Savannah, Georgia. The public blamed the government. Irving Langmuir, who pioneered General Electric's atmospheric research department and admitted that the project was about learning how to weaponize the weather, also claimed the reversal of the hurricane had been caused by Project Cirrus. But the government denied it for 12 years. After a short delay, the project officially continued, and in 1965, Project Storm Fury had targeted Hurricane Betsy for seeding. On that day, the storm immediately changed direction and made landfall in southern Florida. Congress blamed it on Project Storm Fury, but the government claimed that the hurricane shifted before they ever had a chance to seed it. And after two
Sure it did.
2 months of congressional hearings, the project was allowed to continue.
Of course it was.
In 1997, U.S. Defense Secretary William Cohen admitted we have the technology to control the weather, including earthquakes and volcanoes. The U.S. government has placed gag orders on employees of the National Weather Service. In October of 2012, after Hurricane Sandy weakened to a tropical storm, microwave imagery shows a thick red beam immediately followed by Sandy growing into a Category 1 hurricane and taking an unexplained left turn into New Jersey. The push towards alternative energy.
Does everybody remember that one? Do you remember New Jersey's pier getting completely demolished and that whole area being completely wrecked and wiped out? I also want to play this part of the video. I think this is really important and kind of spooky, how our calendar changed and how it possibly changed the end of the Mayan calendar, which was not in 2012, I believe. So here, check this out. I'll let this play for a couple moments, and we'll move on.
That prior to 713 BC, there were 360 days in the year. In 713 BC, all the civilizations of the world changed their calendars to add 5 days. In Persia, these extra 5 days became known as the bad luck days. In ancient Mexico, the useless days. And for the ancient Maya, the unlucky days. When we adjust accordingly, we have 864,000 days before the calendar change and 1,008,000 days after, which brings the Mayan calendar to an end in 2046. This
See?
also raises the question, what happened in 713 BC? According to the Bible, 86,000 people were killed by an angel that year, followed
If you want to know what the bleep was, it was killed.
by God moving the sun by 10 degrees. Perhaps one of these cataclysms occurred that year. Ben Davidson of Suspicious Observers has been closely analyzing all this scientific data, and based on the rate of decline of Earth's magnetic field, he concludes that the solar nova will occur between 2040 and 2060. And Suspicious Observers, who have been covering this subject for years, is saying that we are in it right now.
Right. It may have already sped up. It may already be happening. But according to the change in the calendar, the Mayan prediction of the end of the world is 2046. So if this is true, then we haven't seen the end of the Mayan calendar yet, because it was based off of 360 days a year. That would have been 2012. But because an extra 5 were added on, we're looking at 2046, and this solar flare that could end everything is going to be between 2040 and 2060. But what if those extra 5 days has already put us where it's going to happen? We're already in it. It's 2024. That's 16 years early. So, I mean, this is just wild to me. I had no idea about any of this or how the calendar had been changed and why it was changed. And I find this to be absolutely mind-blowing. So continuing with North Carolina, because this is just wild devastation. We haven't seen anything like this since the Bible. And we're supposed to just believe that this just happened in an area that you were trying to obtain for a product that you need. There's too many coincidences here. And I don't believe in a coincidence. I don't believe in it. There's something afoot. But let's look at all of this. Because this Hurricane Helene, or Helen, I call it Helene. Satellite images show major devastation in North Carolina as the death toll continues to rise. Now, as of, I think today, which is the 6th of October, it was over 200 people dead and 1,200 missing. So this storm probably literally wiped out 1,400 people. Because missing people during something like this, they're not really missing, are they? No, they're not. And we've all seen and heard that. From every storm, from every tornado, whenever there's missing people, the majority of them are gone. And if our government did this, it's just it just makes it that much more disturbing and disgusting. It really does. So before I play the video, I just want to show the pictures. So this is like a school or something, an elementary school, and a satellite view shows mud and debris near Old Fort Elementary School in the aftermath hurricane of Helene in Old Fort, North Carolina. This is on the 2nd. I mean, just look at this. There's nothing left. Everything is mud. This is another area. Houses washed away. Homes have been moved and slammed into each other. Logs. I mean, that was someone's backyard. You know? Another one right here you can see. I'll read the caption. The satellite images released by Maxar Technologies shows flooding by the North Toe River and market damage from the hurricane, Spruce Pine, North Carolina. These areas are giant. Now, the only thing I can't tell you, the only thing I can't figure out is exactly where this lithium deposit is. I don't know where it is. So I would have to look that up, or maybe you can do it on your own, send something, whatever, in a comment. But look at these areas, man. I mean, all of these homes over here are destroyed. Destroyed. Everything around and near the water has been washed away and destroyed. It just keeps going, everybody. I mean, just look at the devastation here. I really do wish that they had done a before and after picture. I find those to be a little bit more eye-opening when they do it like that. But you can see the devastation from all of this. Now let's hear about it.
The death toll from Hurricane Helene keeps rising. At least 225 people are dead now across 6 states. And the full scope of the destruction is only now coming into focus. In the mountains of North Carolina, entire towns are swamped, buried under mud and debris. And now a big question is how to start cleaning up. CBS's Manuel Bojorquez is there.
Downtown Marshall, North Carolina was swallowed by catastrophic flooding. Now what remains is covered in a thick coat of mud and debris that's considered hazardous. Ben Phillips is shoveling it out of his home.
What's it like to see all your things out here like this? It's heartbreaking to everything we had in that house.
This area is not known for flooding. The North Carolina flood map shows Marshall with only a 1% chance. Out of more than 8,000 properties in the county, only 98 had flood insurance.
And that is because if you don't own a home, you don't know. If you're in a non-flooding area, there is no such thing as flood insurance. You can't buy it. I tried to buy it for my house here, and because I'm at the top of a hill, it's a low flood zone, almost non-existent flood zone. So therefore, even though I was asking them for flood insurance and I wanted to pay for it, they said, we will not insure you for flood. We will not give you flood insurance because you're in a no flood zone. So these people had a 1% chance of this happening. And it happened now when we need lithium. They're getting what they want by any means necessary so that they can give us what we think we need because they told us this is what we need. Again, just doing whatever they want to whoever they want and always shitting on everybody at home and helping everybody abroad.
You have flood insurance.
Yeah.
But I think you're probably in the minority. A lot of people did not.
They were saying that the businesses downtown, only about 2 of them had flood insurance and that almost nobody else did.
Just
decimated this whole area.
55 miles east in Old Fort, this satellite image shows the water's disastrous path. We got a closer look on the ground.
These manufactured homes were not originally here. They were pushed by the sheer force of the water. And it's not just people's homes. You can see this shed, even vehicles. And based on the water line there, the water would have reached up to my head.
Down the street, Pastor Kimberly Baker and volunteers are cleaning up mud by the barrelful at the United Methodist Church.
And you can see how deep it is to the altar.
For 24 hours, 4 to 5 feet of water flowed through the church before receding.
We didn't have flood insurance because we've never
flooded.
Never needed it.
Now there is nothing to do but clean up and count their blessings.
We're still here.
You're still here.
And we're going to be here. And we're going to come back. Not just the church, but the people. We're going to build this little town back.
I wonder if the people in Hawaii said the same thing. And from what I'm being told, through people who have friends and family that are part of electricians, firefighters, anybody who is a first responder that are being sent to North Carolina right now to help, those people are being let back in. They're being let in to help. But people that live there and want to go back to their home, they are literally keeping them out. It's the same thing that they did to the people in, was it Honolulu? I don't know. Hawaii, right? They weren't allowing the people that lost their houses back to their houses. They were only allowing the people in that were cleaning up. What's with that? Why won't you let people go back to their homes? Why won't you let people into the areas? They keep claiming it's unsafe. Is it? Or are you just making sure that these people don't get back to their homes to try and rebuild and salvage what they have left because you want the lithium?
This year, out of the 4.3 million properties across the state of North Carolina, only about 115,000 have a flood insurance policy. Nora, the reason people here in Marshall are wearing masks and hazmat suits is that there is a sewage treatment facility and a PVC plant both upstream, so the mud and the dust could be toxic.
Manuel Bojorquez, thank you for being there and telling their story.
Absolutely insane, everybody. Insane. I mean, it's crazy, right? You take all of this information and do with it what you find is the correct thing to do with it. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of coincidences, and I just don't believe in them. And I don't believe that our government doesn't have a way to control the weather. They've been doing it since 1914. Or 1912, whatever the fuck I told you earlier. This has been happening for a long time. They've been getting more and more. They have been perfecting this more and more over time. They've had a lot of time to do it. Over 100 years of development. You're going to tell me that with this storm, it wasn't manipulated? There's a lot more going on here than what they're leading up to. And I believe that the government takes what it wants and it doesn't give a damn whether or not you live, die, or have a home. They just don't care today. And that's what I find the most disturbing. Everybody, okay, so everybody has heard about... what was it? People running around and masturbating in Walmarts and shooting their how do I put this without getting too I don't know. They're going to shut me down anyways. I swear to God, YouTube is trying to make it so that I cannot get monetized. But Seamen Terrorism. And this video, now it's playing on Twitter. I've reposted it. I've shared it. I don't think this is, I think it's, I'm going to laugh again. I laugh at it every time. I don't think this is okay. I don't think you should be doing this, but this is happening. And now it's happening in New York City, broad daylight. Broad daylight, people. Watch this video. Look at this guy. He is just yanking on it, but you can't see anything. And then times it perfectly. Absolutely. Like, what? I don't even know what to say about this because you watch it and it's 1, 2, 3, perfect. I mean, what the hell is going on with everybody out there today? What is happening? Why is this a good idea? What makes you think? I mean, the guy's all masked up. And you can see the license plates. They are definitely New York. Those are New York license plates, that yellow. And somebody said this was Europe. It's not Europe. This is New York. And this is crazy to me. Like, I don't know why when Josh Potter was playing the Seamen Terrorism on this podcast. But like, I don't know. I expected it from people at Walmart. I expect that from almost anybody that's running around Walmart. I don't expect it to just happen out on the streets while you're reading a book on your stoop. This is crazy town. Our society is crumbling. I mean, there's no follow-up with this. There's no arrest. I believe the guy put his thing away, walked out, went somewhere, took off that mask, and blended right back in with society. And this poor woman reading a book on a stoop now has to live with the fact that she had some guy's semen blasted all over her. Absolutely wild today, everybody. It's wild. This is super funny, super cute. I needed to add it in after that one. So let's check this out. Watch this squirrely squirrel. So I can't play the sound as usual. It's the Pink Panther. Look. He got hit by the broom. And, I'm playing. Look at the broom hit me. The broom hit me. Look at. The broom took me out. Dude, that is just adorable. It's just adorable, everybody. Gotta add them in from time to time. You gotta have some fun, and do enjoy the little things in life. There is some, cuteness, happiness still out there, and that was, to me, adorable. This right here is so creepy. I don't know what the hell is going on here, but this is creepy. And the caption on it is, "This will never not be funny," because it's so creepy that it's funny. But you can see right here, it's Trump next to the Pope. And watch the hands, everybody. Watch the hands. Why is he tickling his hand and trying to hold it? So that's it. It just keeps repeating over and over again. It's so creepy to me. I can't even find it funny at this moment in time because of the simple fact that I just think it's creepy. Why does Trump want to hold his hand? Was he like, come on, man? He's like tickling the top of his hand to hopefully get him to like open up his hand. And then the facial expression when the Pope pulls away, he's kind of like, why? why are you not holding my hand, dude? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's so weird. This is pretty crazy as well.
This is insane. I have been diving deep into the rabbit hole that The Wizard of Oz, yes, the story, The Wizard of Oz, is actually an allegory exposing the banking cartel that runs our lives. I posted the video yesterday and got this, and you know when that happens, it means that it's good. But let me show you what I found. Hopefully it stays up, but I promise you, the more I give you, the more it's gonna make sense. It's crazy. So let's start off with some easy ones. Why is it called The Wizard of Oz? OZ. Ounces. What is measured in ounces? Gold. What is the yellow brick road? Gold bars. The yellow brick road leads to the Emerald City. Why emerald? Well, on the back of all American money, you have these buildings that are in green. Emerald City represents the Federal Reserve, the Treasury. Now let's go deeper. Let's talk about the Scarecrow, the straw man. He didn't have a brain, right? What does this symbolize? When a person is born, yes, they exist as a human being, but a new legal entity is also formed. Documentation in the form of birth certificates, social security numbers, these are the legal entities that represent you. Those legal entities have no brain. They are not conscious. But the system views you as a legal fiction. What does the Scarecrow ask the wizard for? A brain. What is he given? A certificate. He's proud of his new brain, but it is not real intelligence. All right, the Tin Man. Like I said, at birth, you're given a social security number, but you also have a taxpayer identification number. TIN. But the Tin Man represents these heartless, robotic, mindless workers within the capitalistic system. The lack of the heart is the lack of passion, fulfillment within this work. Some say this represents people as mindless workers within the system. In the story, he literally rusts from overwork. The lack of heart and soul represents the emotional drain that mindless labor has on us, or how we become robotic in our daily tasks. I probably should have started with this at the beginning. Dorothy's journey emphasizes that individuals possess the power to reclaim their freedom. Let's talk about the field of poppies. What comes from poppy? Milk with the poppy. Opium. This is an example of the distractions that are everywhere in society. Consumerism, mindless entertainment, drugs, alcohol, things we use to numb us from our reality. The Scarecrow and Tin Man weren't impacted by it because they lack genuine human qualities. They don't have consciousness. The symbolism is we can be sedated by distractions. Okay, the Cowardly Lion. These are the people that on the outward appearance have the abilities to change things. They have the strength, the demeanor, but on the inside they're cowards. He wants courage from the wizard. What does he get? He gets a medal. This represents the false sense of authority that are given to lions like this to keep them as cogs in the machine. These cowardly lions tend to oppress and hurt those beneath them. They want to make change for everyone, liberate everyone. But when they come upon bigger bullies, they're cowards. They fall prey to the system. Can you think of any cowardly lions in our system? Okay, going back to the Emerald City. It can represent the Federal Reserve, and it's built on this illusion of control, right? The gang goes to meet the wizard. They see a bunch of smoke and mirrors, fire, holographic images. All of it was designed to instill fear, to frighten you, to manipulate you into doing what the wizard wants. It represents the illusion of power. So what happens? Toto, the little dog, pulls back the curtain. What do we see the wizard is? A frail human being. This aura of power was just an illusion. Think of it this way, there's 8 billion people on the earth. What percentage are controlling the illusion of power? It's not a lot. So where does that power actually lie? Obviously the illusion is that it's the wizard. But get this, Toto represents the truth and power to expose these illusions. Toto in Latin actually means all. It symbolizes total awareness, coming together as a people. And it is through all that you can expose the illusion as a fraud. I need to speed up.
See, I never knew that about Toto. I found that part was one of the more interesting ones to me.
Witch represents people that are giving you empowerment, education, lift you up on your journey. The Wicked Witch represents people that are a part of the system, who climb their way up, push people down to do it. They buy into and use the corruption to get ahead. Essentially, they join the system and then oppress the people below them. Who does all the business for the Wicked Witch? The Flying Monkeys. These are the enforcers, the attorneys of the world. People who use their intelligence, their power, to oppress others and keep proliferating this broken system. Imagine if the world's smartest attorneys were fighting against the system that is broken and inherently unfair, instead of fighting for and being paid by those that benefit from the system. So what do we learn from Dorothy's journey? Like I said, we all have the power to reclaim our freedom. To expose the wizard, you need a brain that represents knowledge. You need a heart that represents compassion. You need courage to stand up against the system and not join it. And finally, Toto, you need collaboration. We all need to work together. The system incentivizes the me. We need to focus on the we. And how does she go home? She clicks her heels 3 times. She could have done this at any point. She always had the power to go home. If you are paying attention, it is very obvious right now that these broken systems, their foundations are cracking. Things are coming apart. Have a brain, have a heart, have compassion, have optimism for the future. Because Because we can and will build something better. It is coming. Earth's vibration is rising. But anyways, that rabbit hole was insane. Let me know what you think, because it's pretty convincing.
That is wild. That is wild, everybody. And there is a lot of things that link together like that when you really want to dig into them. But, you know, I am seeing more and more of the stuff that I grew up with as a kid, and the writers and the directors and the people that were behind the scenes putting these things together. They had a message to put out there. They had something that they wanted to say and they couldn't. So they put it in a fun film to give it explanation. And Star Wars is also one of those types of movies where the director had something to say and was using that movie to show what our government was doing to our people. And I thought both of those were very interesting. So just to keep continuing with this weather manipulation thing that I'm going with this podcast, and how our government is manipulating these things and weaponizing these things and using them against us to get what they want. Trump reached out to Elon, and what they did is Elon put this post up. I have enabled free Starlink for all communities affected by Hurricane Helene. I know I will be accused of being political, but I'm just trying to help. Now, according to an article I just read, Trump asked Elon to do this, to give these people access to communications while they were in this horrible situation where they have lost internet, power, running water, and everything else that the rest of us depend on to just live a normal day in, day out life. So I think that even though Trump asked Elon to do this, I do believe that this is a good thing, and Elon should be praised. Well, not praised. Elon should be, not congratulated. I don't know what the word is, but I think Elon is doing a really good thing for the people in North Carolina by allowing them to link to Starlink and give them communication so that they can reach out to their friends and family and anybody else that they need to right now to try and make this situation right. So I wanted to put that in there because I do believe Elon, at the end of the day, is going to change the world, is changing the world, and will continue to change the world. Maybe for the good right now, but I mean, I'm still waiting for AI to figure out it's smarter than us. So this here is a look at the manipulation of weather with the technology from years ago, and I do believe it brings us into today. Watch this. Listen to it. This is Cyrus or Harp. They're saying that these clouds were made like this from that type of machine. Look at the way that they disperse the circles in these clouds. What is that from? That's not natural.
You see around me have transmitters in them. The transmitters feed power from the main building over there up into these dipole antennas.
Way over here.
There are 180 antennas radiating high frequency waves up in the ionosphere. It's a big ham radio, a big HF radio, the biggest in the world. Fundamentally, what this is about is taking the ionosphere at 100 kilometers up and turning it into a laboratory. We can do experiments. We can create bubbles. We can heat small sections. We can create waves. We can excite plasma resonances and do a lot of experiments. We can transmit signals all around the world. We can study the effects of the ionosphere. It basically makes the ionosphere a laboratory, and we can do experiments that no one else can do.
We can do it. You heard it. You saw it. Look, I am trying so hard to not believe in this. And I just, the evidence is so heavy and so evident that this is real. Manipulation of the weather is real. And if we keep denying it, well, then then you are a sheep with the wool pulled over the eyes. You know what I mean? Like, how can you not believe that this is happening? There is evidence all the way from, 1912 to 2001 of manipulation of weather, whether it was to protect our troops from gas clouds or to protect our troops from fog and poisonous stuff rolling in. We've had ways to move clouds, manipulate weather, and make rain for over 100 years now. The evidence is clear. It's all right in front of our faces. So why do so many people not believe, right? Why do so many people not believe? All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully this gets to stay on YouTube, and hopefully I don't get demonetized again or struck or shut down or shut off. But remember, you can find all of my videos except for the shorts on Rumble. You can find the audio that turns into a video on Spotify. But lately, Spotify has been taking down a lot of stuff too. So Rumble seems to be the place where nothing's being taken down. So any video that has been taken down by YouTube, I will repost and make fresh for Rumble so that you can all see it. I will definitely make it clear that it was taken down. I will also put this video up on Rumble the same day that it comes out on YouTube. I started doing this because YouTube is trying to stop me from getting monetized, everybody. So with that all being said, I thank you all for subscribing. It means the world to me. You're what keeps me coming back week after week. Again, if you're new, subscribe. All right, please. And then, of course, if you want to be on the show, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com is the official email of the podcast. And share this thing, all right? Hit that share button right there. I think. Here? Right here. Hit that share button. Share it with everybody. Hopefully they like it as much as you do. And, of course, you can find the Linktree link in the description below the video where you can find everything TWT. But I really do hope that everybody out there has a great rest of your Thursday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.